I thought Montreal would be the one to middle. That's changed, so I'll change mine. I'm positive reaction to what Montreal's done. I thought it was going to be a little bit harder for them. So they put themselves in a good position in a league that is strictly 500. They've separated themselves early on.
Welcome back to the Clearing the Crease podcast, powered by your friends and ours at BODOG, the band all back together again. He's the Calder Trophy winner, the Razor, Andrew Raycroft. You know, the Cup winner, your friend and ours, Commie, Mike Commodore, and Mr. 0-2. Yeah, your lovable loser.
You're the opposite of Mr. October right now, Austin Matthews.
You got to start wearing a
you can't get anything right.
I'm Mr. May. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you are definitely not Mr. October.
No, not so much. Yeah, November can't come soon enough for this guy right here. Just a reminder, everybody, we are on Apple, we're on Spotify. If you're listening from a podcast standpoint, obviously we're also on YouTube, and you can also follow us along on all our social channels on X, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. You can find us here, there, and everywhere. Yes, our Clearing the Crease Saturday night special, courtesy of us and BODOG. Boy, the pros, the champions, the reasons why, the two big reasons why you listen to this show or watch this show each and every week, Commie, Razor, they deliver the goods for you. They deliver week in, week out. They pick a winner. Yeah. These two guys are Mr. October, unlike this chump right here. And I did it again, guys. Razor, perfect on his pick on his Saturday night special. Commie, you had the Leafs. It went right down to the wire. And it's funny watching that game.
I was like, stress.
And I got to tell you,
screw it up.
Yeah, I was taking some solace thinking, oh, man, at least it's not going to be my poop burger this time.
You know what? It's funny how nervous I've been the last 2 weeks, just throwing it out into the ether. Like, I can make calls all I want and just to my buddies, but throwing it out there, I was like, geez, Tampa almost 3-1 going into the third. They almost blow it. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to happen. And then I start watching Seaball's game and I watch Commie's game. I'm like, oh, this is great.
Well, there's been shootouts. I had Pittsburgh, who was off to a fantastic start, blown, and it goes to a shootout, and Columbus takes it. So there you go. So back-to-back weeks, Commie delivered, Razor delivered, and here I am 0-2. So
sorry. Well, good news for you.
Lots of season left, Seaball. What do you got this week? We'll let you go first, Seaball.
Yeah, you go first. Saturday's November 1st.
Here we go.
October's over.
Remember the 1st of November. Here we go. Give me the Sabres at home to the Caps. How's that for a
Buffalo?
Going back to Buffalo.
Okay, going back to Buffalo. This time I'm on the Buffalo train. Yes.
All
Washington is at home the night prior on Friday night. Buffalo. How about this? The Sabres. And maybe we could think about, are we reacting or overreacting? Buffalo playing well since starting the season, 0-3. Buffalo's only lost once in regulation since that, and they've kicked back up to 500. Give me the Sabres over the Caps. How's that for a reach? I'll see you Saturday.
Huge cojones being 0-2 and then going for the Sabres. I love it, Seaball. Commie, what do you got?
I thought about that too, yeah.
Well, I think our parlay number here is going to be a little higher. I don't want to just pick on the low-hanging fruit all year. So I might regret this. I'm going to go. They only got one win. They're headed out on the road, which when you have one win, I think that's I know
where you're going.
My Calgary Flames are headed to Nashville to play the Predators Saturday night. They aren't playing the night before. Neither's Nashville, though. They're in Ottawa, I think, 2 nights before. Anyways, whatever. I'm hoping that they go to Nashville. They get out of Calgary. Maybe they have a couple of beers, God forbid, go blow the doors off maybe a little bit, maybe play a little bit guilty on Saturday night. I'm going to take the Flames over the Preds.
Love it.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I love it because I had my eyes on that one too, and it might be because we're 2-0. I feel a little emboldened,
Mm-hmm.
little cocky, a little bit.
Yep.
And I'm even more cocky now. Actually, that Seaball took the Sabres at 0-2, so I'm really leaning into this one. I'm taking the Los Angeles Kings to take down the New Jersey Devils on Saturday night. New Jersey's out for the West Coast. They have San Jose on Thursday, LA Saturday, looking ahead to Anaheim Sunday. It's a tough trip. I'm taking the Kings over New Jersey. So it could be a good number.
This could be a payday.
This
is going to be a lot more than plus 400 with the last one. This is going to be way more than that.
Yeah. And at least on the right side, if the Sabres, crap the bed this time around, at least they can't crap on me in your DMs this time, Commie.
Yeah, that's true. That's a
send
good
it all
point.
back. Hey, there you go. I'll tell you what, though, if we deliver on this one,
Sabres, Kings, Flames, that's paying. That is paying.
And it all makes sense. You can make it. I feel good about it.
I mean, the Flames got to win a game here sooner or later, don't they? I mean, they won the first game of the year. The Oilers handed it to them, and they've been 0 for since. I mean, can't lose them all.
It's kind of crazy that, and here, let's dive in from there. So just to confirm what our Saturday night special is, we've got the Sabres, we've got the Flames, and we've got the Kings. All right. So there's your Saturday night special that could pay out quite handsomely or beautifully, depending on how you want to approach that one. But speaking of the Flames, I want to play a little segment with you two called Reacting or Overreacting, and where teams are to start the season. Because, Razor, you kind of alluded to this last week over the fact that it is a nutty schedule right now for a lot of teams, just planes, trains, and automobiles bouncing around, back-to-backs here, there, and everywhere. And at the same time, you get that, well, it's still October, it's still early. So let's play a little reacting or overreacting. And Commie, it follows into the fact that you're talking about Calgary, that they got to win at some point in time. They haven't won in regulation yet as we record this episode. The only game they won needed extra time to beat the Oilers. But are we reacting or overreacting for this Flames start? Razor?
Oh no, this is a reaction, unfortunately. Everything went so perfect last year. We thought this was going to be them last year, and just everything to a T was perfect, down Dustin Wolf right from everybody else. And my whole narrative on Calgary was that Dustin Wolf wasn't going to be able to do what he did last year. It just that second year in the National League, the big contract, the expectations, it's just hard to be a goalie, and they didn't get a guy. They did not get a backup for Dustin Wolf, a guy that could actually play. Rather than leaning into Dustin Wolf playing 60 times, they should have pulled him way back and be like, okay, he's going to play 40 times next year, and we'll get a veteran guy to really help him through the second year. They didn't. That's just the start of things. Everything else is ugly. I am absolutely reacting normally to that 1-7-1. They're going to win more, of course, than 8 games through the season, but they're nowhere close.
How about the Flames? Great here.
Flames great. You know what? Reaction. I agree with everything Razor said. Everybody thought this was going to happen last year. You're minus 16 goal differential, and somehow you end up with 96 points. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. You know what? It's a reaction, but I think I can speak for the majority of the fans. I mean, look, the guys in the room, obviously those guys want to win hockey games. Like, they're not trying to lose games. These guys want to win, and they had a little bit of that like chip on their shoulder last year because everybody thought they were going to be terrible, and they weren't. They ended up having a good year. So for it sucks for those guys in the room, but at the end of the day, I think I could speak for Flames fans in that Calgary. If you're going to be bad, let's be bad, and let's try and get a high pick. Like Calgary's highest pick is maybe Sam Bennett at 4 or 5, something in there. Yeah, like let's have a good shot. One or two. Boys. I think Flames fans at the end of the day are fine with it. That new arena will be ready in a couple of years. I think they're headed in the right direction. Unfortunately, you got to go through this. But it's tough for the guys in the room. But this is what the Flames, I think, are going to be.
Yeah, they outkicked the coverage last year, and they are who we thought they were 2 years ago. They're that now, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay, Rangers, just 3 wins in their first 9 games as they record this one. Are we reacting or overreacting to another sluggish start on Broadway? Commie? The Rangers are trash. The Rangers are trash.
The Rangers are trash. I'm pretty sure I picked them to be good this year. What's going on in New York? I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Ranger games. I know they didn't score a goal at home till like the 4th game, I think it was, set an NHL record, shutout 3 times. So coming from someone who hasn't seen a ton of New York Ranger hockey, the East Coast is kind of tough for me. I will say they got to be better than this, no? But Razor can take care of this because he sees them all the time.
Goaltending.
Yeah, I mean, the goaltending's good, right? So from the outside looking in, I was looking through a few of their stats and the goaltender and everything. I mean, they got to be better than this, so I'll say overreacting.
Yeah, I'm overreacting. I mean, and I could be a little more biased just because I thought they were going to be better than this. But so, guys, they're 0-4-1 at home, and they're 3-0-1 on the road, which is banana land. So
yeah, that is.
It just leans into, okay, they're not going to lose every game at home this season, and they're already 3 games over 500 on the road. So that seems to find balance. The Metro Division's good, but the Atlantic Division right now stinks. So could 5 Metro teams sneak into the playoffs? I like the Rangers. I love Shesterkin. I think Sully's a great coach. I think their power play gets enough goals. I think the Rangers find a way. It's a little overreaction to their home record and the lack of goals early on. 0-4-1 at home is actually, it's really bad.
Yeah, I do think that skill. I do think the skill is there and the firepower is there to ultimately turn the tide, especially with the goaltending they're getting right now. Yeah. Devils, what a start they're on. Man, this has got to feel like an overreaction. I don't think the Devils are this good, or am I wrong here?
I'll go first on this one, and I'm going to say it's a reaction because I thought, what was it, 2 years ago, I went and saw and I know this is 2 years ago, but it's a lot of the same players for sure, like kind of the core there or whatever. And I remember they came through Alberta, and I watched them play Edmonton, watched them play Calgary, and I'm like, these guys are really good. Like, and I was at the game in Calgary. They were fast. They were moving, and they had some injuries and stuff last year. So I think this is more what they're, maybe a little hot, but I'm going to say reaction. I like the Devils.
What do you got, Seaball? What do you think?
It feels like an overreaction. I'm looking at their goaltending right now, and it's not, and they're still winning in spite of it. I mean, Jake Allen's been great to start the season, but is this sustainable with that tandem with Markstrom and Allen? I mean, 2 vets. I don't know. I mean, look, the Heat. Like nobody's going to continue the pace that they're on right now, but I'm going to say this is an overreaction for the Devils.
The caveat is just the way the regular season games are being played, and it leans right into how New Jersey wants to play. And if Hughes stays healthy, then the overtime points that they're getting right now are automatic. Like, you don't want those guys 3-on-3. They're smoking everybody if they get involved in something like that. So I don't think there was many doubts about them getting in the playoffs and being a part of that. Mm-hmm. I think so. I think they are what they are. I don't see them still winning the President's Trophy. I think Carolina chases them down in that division. I don't think they win it, but I'll say react because they're a good team and they're going to be hard in the regular season.
All right, there you go. So 2 on the reaction train for the Devils. Okay, the Leafs, 500 hockey to start. They had a 3-game skid last week that they turned around just in time for Commie's Saturday night special.
Thank God.
Reacting or overreacting to life without Mitch Marner. Let's start with the former Leaf legend.
Okay, so 2 things have me worried that we're reacting to them being a 500 team. One is the exact opposite of the Rangers in that they've played 7 games at home and only 2 on the road. They have not traveled. They've gone to Detroit, and I think they went to, I don't even know where the other team was, but they were East Coast. They haven't gone west. They haven't had a trip, nothing. And they're still 500. And the other point is Mitch Marner made this team work in the regular season. It made everything perfect. He gave the puck to Matthews when he needed it. He gave the puck to Nylander when he needed it. He gave the puck to Tavares when he needed it. And then you got again, last week we talked about the Stolars. We got Berube, and we've got this Leafs tension over the vacuum of who's going to be the scapegoat because Marner's not here anymore. We all know someone's going to get it, and I don't want to be the guy. And we just keep passing the hat around. That's kind of what's happening up there now. So I'm reacting to the fact that they're 500, and this is not automatic that this is all going to work out.
I'll go. I'm going to say overreaction, and the only reason why I'm saying it is because I don't need my inbox blown up with Leaf fans saying they're a 500 team. I do not need that right now, and there's a lot of Leafs fans out there. So I'm going to say overreaction, but I am not confident. It hasn't been great for sure. The Stolar stuff and the Sunday skate and everything. I mean, you'd like to think they can turn around, but I haven't seen every game, but I've seen a few. I haven't loved what I've seen. I'll tell you that.
You took a guy who was a top 10 scorer in the league out of the lineup. And as much as we've cracked on Mitch Marner on this show as well, this is a reaction. This is a guy who was a possession guy, a guy who generated offense, facilitated the puck. And right now you still have John Tavares who's producing. You have Austin Matthews who is producing. And this team is kind of even Steven, right? Like, how do you replace 100 points? Your biggest offseason acquisition effectively was a third line center. I think the reality is the Mitch Marners of the world are the guys that help you get into the playoffs, but you got to get there first, right? And we can talk about the playoff failings, but Kami, I mean, you've been to a couple of cup finals. You won one, you lost in a heartbreaker in Game 7. Mm-hmm. You know what it takes, right? There are certain guys that are bright lights players when it matters in the postseason, and there are certain guys that will fly through those 82 games, and they're the ones who get you there. And I think right now, the Leafs are trying to figure out life after Mitch Marner because they don't have a key ingredient that gets them there. Yeah, so it's reaction.
Yeah, fair enough. And you're right. Like you said, you got to get there first. That is a problem. And I even think it's even more so now with how fast the game is. And there's always been a difference from like regular season hockey to playoffs. But now, putting up 100 points and it is a fast moving. And then all of a sudden the playoffs come and it takes a little bit of a different attitude. You got to be able to hang in there a little bit. So I think the difference, it could be argued that maybe the difference too is even more now. But yeah, they do look like they miss them. Yeah. And we did crack on him in the playoffs, though.
We did a whole lot of dry hair. Made for some great podcast episodes if you want to find them in our archives, both in Spotify and in Apple. Okay, Detroit. We talked about this last week, but Detroit trying to shake a 9-year playoff drought. Let's start with the former Wings great.
Yeah, I was great there too. All right. I'm going to say reaction.
I love doing this.
Oh yeah, we half the league. I was a former great. I'm going to say reaction.
Hey, don't worry, we got the other half covered with your partner. So
that's true.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. Between the two of us bozos.
I'm going to go reaction. I know they're feeling the heat a little bit in Detroit. They know it's buddies with a couple, and we don't sit there and talk about it or anything like that. But I know that just from a couple comments they made, they're like, "Hey, we need to be better, and we need to figure things out here. It's not, it's been a long time now, and they're starting to get a little ornery there in Detroit. So, and that has to trickle down, in my opinion, to the players a little bit. So I didn't love what kind of went on last year, and I like Dylan Larkin. He's a good player, but I wasn't sure how that was going to work heading into this year with the comments that he made, because I'm sure Yzerman didn't love that. But I'm going to say reaction. I personally, I really hope they do make the playoffs.
I'm okay with Detroit. And maybe it's more a product of what's going on around them in the Atlantic Division with the Torontos, the Ottawas, the Buffalo. Everyone's kind of down. And Detroit's found their way. McClellan called them out right away at the end of the season. They went on their little run. They lost a couple of games big time last week they lost to the Islanders 7-2. They got smoked, but then they bounced back. So I'm gonna lean into the Red Wings a little bit here. And maybe it's not so much about them, but the fact that they're just a little bit better than what we've seen from the rest of the entire division.
I'm going to say overreacting. And I'm not basing it on any sort of analytic. I just think when it comes down to by the time this season is over, I just think that they're on the outside looking in again this season. I think we all agree. Look, as much as I think that the Devils start is a bit of an overreaction in terms of, it's not a sustainable pace. I do think the Devils are good enough to get back into the playoffs this year. So that takes out one of those teams from last season. Are there two teams from the playoffs last year that get bounced out in the East? I don't know. So I'm going to say overreaction for that one. I'll be the buzzkill for that one. Okay. I think Detroit fans already hate me for my Zegras comment a few years ago about. So
just pile on them. Yeah, who cares?
Speaking of one of those teams that went into the playoffs in the East last year, Montreal. What a start for the Habs! And firepower for days. Not the biggest team, but they can score in bunches. Reacting or overreacting? Former Habs fan, Razor. Where are we going?
Huge former Habs fan. They're similar to New Jersey, right? And they've put it on the table a little bit more. I was questioning them to be the team in the East or in the Atlantic to be where Ottawa is right now. I thought Ottawa was going to be the one to take over. I thought Montreal would be the one to middle. That's changed, so I'll change mine. I'm positive reaction to what Montreal's done. I thought it was going to be a little bit harder for them. So they've put themselves in a good position in a league that is strictly 500. They've separated themselves early on.
I'm going to go reaction with my Canadians. They got a good thing going. The vibes are good there. Everybody's signing extensions in the front office. There's money being made.
The best.
Get an extension.
Yeah. Roby's making like $9 million now. Stefan Robidas, assistant coach. Here's $9 million.
Here you go. Things are going great. I saw a couple of their games too. They're fun to watch. They're no kidding. They can fly around. Now that kind of goes into but like we just said, you got to get there first as far as making the playoffs. Remember last year, Washington play against, it was great. They made the playoffs. They played Washington. And I watched that whole series. I'm like, man, they look small. But that's a problem for another day. For right now, I think the Canadians look good. I'll roll with them.
There we go. Everybody's reacting. I'm on board. And you know what? Montembeault hasn't even been very good this season. But Dobish has been excellent between the pipes. Pittsburgh, what a start. Even though they burned me on Saturday. Over. One of the two reasons I'm over on this season, these Saturday night specials. The Penguins. A lot of old legs, but they're off to a great start. Reacting or overreacting, Kami?
You know what? I'm going to react purely on the reason. I don't think it's, if I'm betting, I don't think it's going to happen. But I heard it's all summer. I understand it's summer, and I listen to NHL radio on Sirius XM or whatever. And, every other thing coming up was Crosby traded, and we need to see Crosby play this and that. And I'm like, okay, dude, he's going to do whatever he wants. But I understand you have to talk about something too. I get that. But I'd be pumped to see him get back in there for the old guys. And I know that they've had a lot of credit. You guys would see more than I have of them, but I think they've had some scoring for some new guys, some younger guys, I think, which has helped. I haven't checked in on how Carlson's doing, but I'm happy to see them do well. I don't know if they're going to get in, but I'll roll with them for now.
Yeah, I feel like an idiot, actually, because this seemed to be like the easiest opposite to do of everybody all summer. Kami, you just laid it on the line. Everyone's, these guys stink. Why did I not bet on Malkin and Crosby at least for the first 10 games of this regular season? It was the stupidest thing in the world to think that these guys were going to go 0-10 and they were going to stink and they weren't going to put it on the line. Gino's got 14 points in 9 games. Sid's got 11 in 9 games. Your boy Carlson's got 6 assists. He hasn't even got going, but he's +4.
Well, that's good.
That's if he's +4, then the team is winning. There's no question.
And they're managing his
that.
minutes too, right? Like he's not playing a half hour anymore.
No,
right?
That ship sailed.
Time. He might be just 20 now. Yeah,
it was stupid. It was stupid for me to think that they were going to go directly to the bottom when they still have Gino and Sid on the lineup. Gino in his last year, proving a point. So, I mean. What I should say as an honest person is say overreact because it does this seems too much. But I'm kind of closer to react when you put the paper down and these guys are showing what they're showing and they show that they care right now. They can stick around now for a little while. They're going to figure these next couple of months out and stick in the mix.
I like it.
Yeah. What makes me nervous is, Mantha, Brazo, these guys have been scoring in bunches here to start the season. And is it sustainable for two guys who you don't necessarily associate as regular scorers? Man, it's a great story, though. It'd be great to serve up a giant poop emoji to every fan across the league who doubted the great 1-2 punch of Crosby and Malkin, throw in Letang and Carlson, but they're getting good goaltending. I think it's an overreaction, though.
The bar was just so low. I guess that's they're not winning the cup. Like that. No. That's not. But here, okay. Let me throw this to both of you. But if Pittsburgh is in the mix at the deadline, even though this is a team that is in theory trying to rebuild, do they owe it to Sid and Gino to get a rental if they are in the mix in March? I think they do. Even if it upsets the apple cart in terms of what the long-term vision is. But for what those two guys did and meant to the franchise, and sorry, I should include Chris Letang as well. Yep. But man, I think that organizationally, they owe it to those guys. If they are in the mix in late Feb, early March, you got to give them some support because they are working their asses off out there if they're fighting to keep this franchise afloat in the playoff mix.
I agree that they've earned that for sure. I will say though, they better be really in the mix. Like not. That's what if I was the G, like you better be really in the mix. Like not really going. But I do agree. I mean, their careers speak for themselves. They don't have to even talk about it. So yes, they have earned it. But if I'm the GM, I want to be real in the mix, not just a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. Okay. You don't just subscribe to just get in.
No,
not to give up first rounders at this point.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not a first rounder, but if you can get at least some support, at least something.
Well, to the point, you just keep Gino rather than trading him off for something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. Last but not least, reacting or overreacting to Utah. What a start! You were just in Utah, Commie.
I was. Yeah, I'll go reacting. I can't say overreacting with my new team, the Mammoth. They got some good players. Like. The goaltending is a little bit of a question mark, I think. Maybe the back end to a point, though. But they've got some skill. They got some guys there that can score. I mean, they just got a good player out of Buffalo. That's boded well over the last few years for everybody else. Yeah. So, well played. They're good. I'll tell you what. Like I said it before. If anybody's in Utah, you're looking for something to do, or it's even actually worth the trip to go see. That it's a good spot. So I'll say reacting to them. They've been playing well.
All right. Razor?
Yeah, I'm all in on the Utah thing making the playoffs and the fact they've rattled these wins off. Their young players are great. They've put all the pieces together. They have guys like Sergachev on the back end, Marino on the back end who've won and battled. They can absolutely add as this season goes on. They can get better. People are going to want to go there. They've heard about the practice rink. They heard about Commie running the pregame show. I mean, it's a no-brainer for everyone to go out to Utah.
Hey, man. Ian Cole's still grinding out there, too, on that back end.
Yeah, don't forget about him. Yeah, that's right. He's been around.
That's what I mean. The Army's built a good program. Like, he figured out to build the back end, old guys, let the young guys do their thing up front. They're legit.
Yeah, they seem to be, and they're getting the results right now early. And boy, that's what you need. Look, you need success to get a franchise going. And, look, Coyotes fans had to watch it, that whole rebuild. And now I think you're going to get this getting over the hump now And I think Utah fans and Salt Lake fans are going to be able to benefit this. Okay, so there's your old reacting and overreacting. I want to move on to Don't Puck It Up now. I'll tell you what, guys, I'll go first with Don't Puck It Up. How about what we saw a few days ago with the Nordiques and the Whalers jerseys in full display in Denver? Oh my God, we need to see these more and more and more. Avs wearing them a total of 7 times this season, and they'll do it again in Carolina when the Whalers and the Nords do it one more time in Raleigh coming up on January 3rd. But look, maximize these opportunities. This is a great win for the league. This is a great win for markets who've had teams that have moved to those respective cities. Look, I get that some fans don't like it, but for me, as somebody who lives in Metro Vancouver, I love it when I see Memphis wearing the old Vancouver Grizzlies jerseys. It's a tip of the cap. Sure, does it hurt that the team left? Absolutely. But why would you lock those beautiful unis up and never have them seen again when they can be shown out on a tribute night? Yes, okay, you get a little nostalgic, and for some people, they don't like it. For me, I love it. I love the tip of the cap. I want to see more Nordiques jerseys. I want to see the fleur-de-lis. I want to see the Whalers. I mean, the Whalers had the sexiest jerseys in the 80s, man.
Nice
it's like
jersey.
San Jose wears those Golden Seal retros. It's awesome to see more retros. Look at even the Denver Broncos brought those old orange ones out. How did they even replace those? How did they even get away from them? They're fantastic. More retro. Make it happen. Don't puck it up.
I love it.
Don't puck it up, Blue Jays. I'm sticking on the Blue Jay. I did this 2 weeks ago. We're World Series. We're right in the middle of the World Series. Come on. Please.
I'm in, buddy.
Please.
I'm in.
I mean, Yamamoto can throw, but he can only pitch twice in this series. Can we just get 4 somehow, some way? Very
3
simple.
more.
They might have a Yamamoto, but we got a total Savage out there.
Correct.
Yeah, that's true.
Please, Blue Jays.
That's true. That's true. They got a chance. There's no doubt about that. I'll keep my Don't Puck It Up simple. We touched on it a little bit earlier. Mine isn't nearly as cool as your guys's. But I am enjoying this little Montreal Canadiens and getting them going. I just watched on Netflix the show about what happened to the Expos. I'm not sure if you guys watched that.
I haven't yet. I hear it's great.
It's great. Look, you don't really get an answer on what the hell happened there, but it was well done. And there was a bunch, there was a lot about baseball in Quebec that I had no idea, like around forever, and I just didn't realize it. So I'm kind of into the Montreal thing right now.
Played in Montreal, right?
Yeah, like the history there is incredible. And, they had Pedro Martinez on there and everything like that. And Pedro was, all those guys were, they said they loved it there. So I'll stick with the Montreal theme. Keep it going, Canadians. Like I touched on earlier, all the front office is all rich now. They all got 5-year or whatever extensions. So I hope they keep it going. Don't puck it up. Don't get lazy after you guys get fat on these fat contracts.
Don't let Yuppie get screwed again.
That's right.
Just on a side to that, Kami, growing up in Ottawa, and we had the AAA ball franchise for the Montreal Expos with the Ottawa Lynx. And so all those prospects, you could just see the riches or guys on rehab assignments that would come through. And, it was just unbelievable. It was just a roster of young, hotshot prospects coming through. And then as the franchise started selling off, you could just see the pipeline kind of erode with it. And it was sad to go from even in Ottawa, they were selling out every night. And then as the Expos kind of died out, so too did the whole system, that kind of followed it. So kind of unfortunate to see, but yeah, man, don't puck it up. Let's keep the good times going. Okay. So that'll do it for this week's edition of the Clearing the Crease podcast, man. What a time to be a sports fan right now. BODOG has you covered for all of it. Football season, fast and furious rolling along. We got the NHL season just ripping by in Banana Land, as Razor likes to call it, with the schedule right now. And then we've got a World Series with a chance for a Canadian team to say, suck it.
And C-Ball, most importantly, we have the Saturday night special.
Yeah, get you off to
Saturday night special.
This one. We're hitting it.
Bobby and I are feeling good. Seaball's stressed, but he took the Sabres to get him out of it.
That's right. Relying on Buffalo.
Look at the gray that's been creeping in over the last week with this, man. Just lots of stress and sleepless nights.
We were to only hit one parlay all year. I would say this should probably be the one to hit.
Yep.
This one's going to pay.
Flames.
Tell your friends.
Saturday night.
So we got Flames, Kings, Sabres. Book it Saturday. Yes. And for everyone here at the Clearing the Crease podcast, we will see you next week or talk to you next week. See ya.